On our way back from Harrisburg, the sun is setting here. I guess we still are in Harrisburg. About a 5-hour drive back to Brunswick, and we'll do a video. We're going to do this video to update you on yesterday and today's racing and what took place today. And then Amy and I said we'll do a quick video, maybe not so quick, but we'll do a video just outlining what took place at Harrisburg, what our thoughts were, because it has been a great sale season. And of course, every sale, every day you're leaving wondering, why didn't I do this? Why didn't it happen today? I was the underbidder on a nice pacing horse. And I don't want to say who I talked to, but we talked to some people that knew the horse is. I did my homework, and they thought the horse would bring quite a bit more than he brought, and I was the underbidder on the horse, and I could have kept going, but I was comfortable. I just got the horse that I wanted, the trotter Go Boom. I did not get the other horse that I spent 10 days building an ownership group for, which was Fallout. Ronnie Burke got him, and we weren't even close. But nor do I think we could have been. They bought him because they thought the same thing we did. He had the potential to be a tremendously good aged horse. They just had more money than we did. So good luck with that, with the horse. I'm talking like they outbid us. I was out at like 240, 260. We had $300,000 put together for Fallout. And
there was like one group of people who were at the start, and then after it got to
that's
3,
what happens, right?
Then it was like just two people.
And that defines a sale. You're right. You have a group of people that can afford X. You have a group of people that can afford a little bit more, and then you have the alphas. Then you have the sharks at the top.
They didn't even come in until the rest of us were.
No, Andrew was in. Andrew was in. He put me away at 270.
Yeah, but then.
And then Ronnie Burke jumped into the front, and I can only assume it was them back and forth. I assume he had a number, and so did he, and Burke ended up with a horse. So, whatever. It is what it is. I think I was pretty sure we weren't getting him anyway. I was hopeful we would. I was prepared for it. The reason that I didn't get that horse, I think his name was Better Is Nice, is because when you start reverting to your plan Bs and your plan Cs, your feet start getting a little bit colder, right? You start saying, and everybody does. I know I do. My plan A was Go Boom and Fallout. That was my plan A. We waited there the whole day for those two horses and to watch our filly sell, who didn't sell. Now, I'll finish this train of thought, and then I'll move to Melisandre. When it came to the age sources, there's always a few that you're watching. I found maybe it was because we weren't looking at as many age sources, but it didn't seem to me like that too many of them slipped through the cracks. When we were looking at horses to buy, I don't think I was I the underbidder on one other horse, I think? I got one. I was underbidder on the Pacer.
Yeah, there was another one.
I wanted to bid on that little guy that was fast, and then obviously hurt himself in the middle of summer. He ended up bringing 40. He was a good-looking bugger. The mixed sale loses its shine a little bit because there's going to be more of these horses selling on gate and preferred over the next little bit. Now, I said that last year, and I even threatened to go myself to the East Coast, and I may still, because I did not get our open Pacer yet. Right? I did not get our open trotter. I bought a nice trotter. He's not an open trotter, nor is he expected to be an open trotter. Go Boom is 3 wins lifetime. He's got a nominal as a 4 horse, and he's either going to push forward and be a good aged horse for us, or he's going to finish off his stint with us in the springtime, and the nominal is a 4 up to 10. That'll be up to him. But that's the way it is. And then Melisandre, I just had it in my head she was worth 40 to 50. I don't know when the last live bid was on the filly, and I don't think I'm too concerned about it. This is as Amy just put it, and she's right. This is the best bred trotting filly that we own. Every horse we own, all on a spreadsheet. This is the best bred one. She got a brother who made $300,000 as a stud in Ohio. He's okay. He's a nice horse. And as I say, a stud in Ohio, he's not a top stud in Ohio. He's standing in Ohio. Kimmeridgian was a decent horse. But the second and third dam is where everything is. Rebuff is a brother to Melisandre's mother. And then you have their Rumboogie line underneath. And that branches off in a number of places. I really didn't know. When the day started and you watched the fabulous fillies race, and Steve put it well too. He said, if you had just got up one time in 55 with this filly, she might have been able to slide into the fabulous fillies breeding section.
Yeah.
And if she had to, and if she had of, I bet you we'd probably get 65. But she didn't. Didn't work out that way. Make sure we don't miss our exit here, right? Yeah. Is it here?
No, next one.
Next one, okay. And then I know on this road, I think I remember vaguely, on this road about 10 miles up, there's a Starbucks in the first service center. Or did I miss it? It was that one, wasn't it? It was that one. All right.
I don't know how many 1,000 feet is.
I think 1,000 feet is not far at all.
Yeah, I know that.
So maybe there's a turnaround in the middle up here, like they do in Pennsylvania sometimes, or maybe there isn't. How far is it if there isn't?
2 miles.
2 miles. So at worst, we're 2 miles. At best, I'll stay in this lane in case there's a U-turn. LO, you're not supposed to use these. It says for emergency vehicles. But what if it's an emergency?
You're not going to have things this far.
They don't have them the same down this way as they do up there anyway. So with Melisandre, she is our best bred filly. And I'd said to John and I have talked about this quite a bit. As you can imagine, if you bred a horse out there, you know how expensive it is. And to keep a horse, is there one up here? No. To keep a horse, a broodmare of any kind, and then a foal is expensive. Now times that by like 11 or 12. That's how many we have. So we need to, as Joel likes to put it all the time, my buddy Joel, call the herd. We need to start moving some of these horses out. And if we moved in a former $150,000 yearling of ours that is well bred, well, so be it. Not the end of the world. That's what we'll do. I'm glad we missed that exit, We're experiencing some traffic here. So, Melisandre we retained, which kind of put a damper on the day a little bit, and then didn't get fallout, which I think deep down inside me, I knew I wasn't going to. But we did get the trotter that and of all the trotters that I saw on the sale, all the ones that we could buy or might buy, and all the storylines attributed to all those horses, this was the guy I wanted. So we got him. So today, that isn't just all that took place today. We raced Arrowhead Hanover. He raced great. A couple of people asked me who's Dan Munson. Honestly, I don't know who Dan Munson is. Seems like a very nice man. He's a friend of a friend. And I said, I don't really want to ship Arrowhead Hanover down there and ship them back, especially when we don't really have a place to race them. There's nothing at the Meadows for them other than the open and backup class. We have horses for there, and I don't want to race them there. There's nothing really at Northfield. At Dayton, there's that class. We're really good at drawing 8 or 9 in there. Not as good at the 8 or 9 hole. And maybe a fresh scenery isn't going to hurt him that much. So let's see how he races. We'll go from there. I talked to Mr. Munson, Dan Munson, after the race. He said the horse raced great. He was really, really happy with him. And he said, what now? I said, well, Mr. Munson, you passed. How's that? I think, is there a class there? He said there's a class in Dover. Non-winners of 4, not more than 9. We can race him there until he wins 1. And then after that, I don't know. I know my buddy Greg said there's non-winners up to non-winners of 12 at Yonkers. But I know that Megan is heading south for the winter. Good lucky bugger. She gets to head to Florida for the winter. Someday we will. How old, Daddy?
6.
12 years. Well, 12 years we'll be able to go to Florida. So I just thought that, this is a horse that could go there. I don't know where to send him. I know Megan has a stable operating there, but if you're not back all the time, I know what it's like. I can barely keep track of everything when I'm in the same state, let alone the same country there. So Arrowhead Hanover, I don't know. We'll see what takes place after. He's got to win. Mr. Munson has a win with him. So we'll see what happens after that. And then, of course, Neptune, tuned in and saw an absolute monsoon. What a slop pit that track was. I just went by one of those U-turns just now. It drives me crazy. What a slop pit the Meadows was today. It was horrible. Pouring rain and mud everywhere. Looked like Neptune was the winner coming out of the last turn, and he ends up getting beat 4th, 3rd by our old buddy JK Victory. who raced good again. He's a likable horse. Another one right there. Oh my God almighty.
Right here.
Yeah, then you got to get off here, get up here, be in traffic, and back on the track, back on the road. So we had a second with Arrowhead Hanover, a fourth with Neptune, both raced good. Now, looking back on yesterday's races, I didn't bring you a video. What was I going to tell you? Geez, I'm really sorry I drove bad. I tipped Spitfire over leaving the gate. Usually when you get him off the car, first 3 or 4 strides after that, you're fine. And yesterday, he tipped over just after that in a weird place. He really caught me off guard. I was very surprised he made a break. And then pulling up, you can almost see that he was really tense over his hindquarters. Tim was drawing his blood today, but I would bet very, very good money that he tied up a little bit yesterday. He's been shipping around. He was a late ship into the meadows. I just think that it took its toll, and I think you're going to find his AST around 2,000 or 3,000, which more than would explain the break yesterday. You know, when their AST, when they get a little tight over their hind end like that, it's tough. You know, they get interfering, they're touching in places they don't usually touch because they can't get them out of the way quick enough and end up making a break. So, unfortunately, Spitfire made a break, but he'll be back. And then 3-point blue chip. I knew I was in trouble halfway around the first turn, but there was no holes. And I'm thinking, I know the guy in the front's like 8 or 10 to 1. Surely he's not going to go half in 55 and park me. But he did. He went a half in 55 and 4 and parked me. I felt bad for 3-point, you know. Just trying our hardest to get just a race into this horse. And just a good trip into him. And I just can't seem to get it. The last thing I wanted to do was get him parked. I just thought when I saw Joey leaving, he was the horse to beat. I was going to make front and then slam the air on, and if Brian wanted to remove, so be it. And if he didn't, I think if I got a good enough breather with 3-point that if they left him alone, he'd race well. That's how I saw the race going, and instead I got parked the whole way with the horse that you do not want to get parked the whole way with. So hopefully his memory isn't quite as good as it was previously, and he comes back good next week. I then raced Looks Like Money, and again, rolled the dice when I didn't really need to. So halfway down the backstretch, the horse in front of me is the longest shot on the board. The horse behind me, I know he's not great Guido D right now because he didn't get off the car good. So Guido D didn't get off the gate good. I got away in front of him, but the horse in front of me is not, he doesn't really belong in the open. I shouldn't say that, should make fun of him. I don't mean to make fun of him. He can come back and beat us. But he's not necessarily a better horse than Looks Like Money, generally speaking. So halfway down the backstretch, I had a chance to get out and get moving. I look up, and Dave looks like he's a little soft. His horse won his last 2 starts from in behind, from following. Now he's on the front, where maybe he is a little bit vulnerable. So I roll the dice and I come hard with Looks Like Money. Even if I come slow with Looks Like Money and just hang out in the last turn, I'm an easy third. And really thinking back on it, did I really think I could win that race? Because what I risked was an easy third against a possible win. I just thought that if I could get to, at that moment in time, I thought if I could get to Dave and get him cornered in the last turn with Money, maybe I could beat him. But that would be the only way I could justify driving him the way I drove him. I cost us third to gamble on third, is what it turned out being. I had third sewn up and decided I would be fourth instead. So that was on me. So now I got a park job, a break, and a questionable drive. And I didn't really save myself with Raging Hanover. I didn't drive him bad. The horse raced good. His confidence is coming around. He could have made a break 2-3 times in the mile. Instead, he pushed through, understood his work, and finished up well. I was happy with the way the horse raced. A little bumpy at times. I think he might need a little vet work, a little overhaul. But he is coming around. You know, somebody said, Anthony, I know you like him and you say he's coming around, but to what extent? Well, he's already trotted in 54. In fact, he's already won in 54. He is a fast horse. So there's always that in your back pocket. What I want to do is polish him up so that he's a confidently consistent horse. And we're 2 steps into that process for sure. Am I getting off here? Hey.
25 miles.
25 miles?
No, 11 to 7.
Yeah, 11 north, Kingston, right? This exit right here? Or is it the one after this? What's the exit number?
52B.
B. This is A. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So, not the day I wanted yesterday. I can tell you that Spitfire will bounce back, and I'm pretty sure it just tied up just a hair, and he's not known for tying up, so I'm not really concerned about it. I would attribute that to his shipping, his consistent shipping over the last week. So I would say between the weather and the shipping, that's exactly what happened with Spitfire. With regards to 3-point, I just need to do a better job reading the room. I don't know if I could have realized that kid was loose on the front end any quicker and got him into a hole, but at the time I just thought it was the right move. With Looks Like Money, it wasn't the right move. There was just far too much of a gamble to potentially lose third for what I might have garnered. I don't think I could have won. I might have been second. Instead, I was fourth. Should have just stayed where I was or come slow with Money. And then with Raging Hanover, I thought he raced good. I think there's much better days ahead for him. But days like yesterday are very important for this horse's confidence, as I said. So with that, I'm going to let you go. We're going to come back. Amy and I are going to talk about the wholesale. Harrisburg, top to bottom, what our thoughts were on days 1 through 5, and close out what is our sale season 2025.